From the News Center of the Renaissance Communications Incorporated, a very pleasant good evening. Welcome to News Desk. Today is Wednesday, February 21, 2022. I'm Augustine Sa presenting. In the headlines, 5 persons are confined, dead, and several others made homeless in a major fire outbreak in Painesville City early Wednesday morning. Mines and Energy Minister Designate Wilmot Pay promises major reforms in the mining sector, including tackling what he calls man-made poverty in Liberia despite the abundant mineral resources. Government of Liberia drops criminal charges against Prophet Key as a cultural ambassador Judy Andy leads group of women in a mass protest at the executive mansion in demand of justice. And in foreign development, Ghana underscores importance of transition to greener energy as construction of nuclear power plant faces delays. The country's nuclear power boss has told the BBC. The detail of these plus many more, the agile forces of the newsmakers. The news bulletin puts or package on tonight's edition of the program News Desk. Maka Davis is next with the news bulletin.
President Joseph Boakai has nominated several officials to positions in government affecting the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Those nominated are Wilmot Reeves, Deputy Minister for Commerce and Trade, Tenin Nyanka Nimlin, Deputy Minister for Administration, Benedict Dolo, Deputy Minister for Small Business Administration, Andrew Pega, Deputy Minister for Industry, Kelvin Matadi, Assistant Minister for Commerce and Trade. Others are H. Uriah Bryant, Assistant Minister for Industry, Papa Koyen, Assistant Minister for Small Business Administration, and Sarafin Dan, Assistant Minister for Administration. The executive mansion release said these nominations are subject to confirmation by the Liberian Senate. Meanwhile, President Boakai has called on all those nominated to continue to demonstrate diligence, commitment, integrity, professionalism, and loyalty in service to the country. 5 persons are confirmed dead and several others made homeless in a major fire disaster in Dupont Road, Painesville City. The chain of apartments in Caulfield gutted fire early Wednesday morning, leaving the entire building burned. According to neighbors, they exerted all efforts and prevented the fire from extending to other properties with the aid of the resident who provided his reservoir and by breaking down the apartments. An eyewitness further narrated that after breaking down the house, everyone went about their normal businesses without establishing whether the occupants were safe. A disadvantaged youth in search of old irons later discovered the dead bodies of 5 persons established to be a lady and her 4 children. According to sources, the incident is said to have been caused by candlelight. Mines and Energy Minister Designate Wilmot Pay has outlined plans to tackle what he calls man-made poverty in Liberia despite the presence of abundant mineral resources. Facing the Senate Committee on Land, Mines, and Energy for his public confirmation hearing on Wednesday, Pay said it is sad for the country to possess billions of dollars worth of natural resources while the citizens still poor. The former Unity Party chairman promised that if confirmed, he will finalize the draft amendment to the Mineral and Mining Law of 2000, review and update the 2010 Mineral Policy of Liberia, and as well update the National Energy Policy of 2009. The presidential nominee emphasized that the areas earlier mentioned where the main issues are found relative to the construction operations across the country. At the same time, William Pay said his administration will establish mineral and energy sector working groups to speed up the small-scale mining sector in the country, noting that he will also review energy regulatory frameworks and increase domestic power generation capacities. Meanwhile, the Mines and Energy Minister Designate recounted that over the last 20 years, the country's annual budget has hovered between US 800 million and less than US 700 million, while operators in the mineral sector have reaped billions of dollars from gold and diamond exports. Pay believes if the proper policy measures were instituted, revenue from this metallic mineral alone could have financed the country's annual budget over the last 6 years or so. Commenting on the country's hydrocarbon potential, Women paid stressed the need to have swiftly or to move swiftly to end the exploration phase, indicating that the nation must take custody of the seismic data. Pay has meanwhile warned that officials of the Ministry of Mines and Energy cannot be engaged in mining activities, stating they cannot be the referees and players at the same time. Government lawyers have dropped criminal charges against Justin Opayezian, alias Prophet Key, at the Monrovia City Court. Prosecuting lawyers, according to RCR judicial correspondent on Wednesday, confirmed that they were instructed by the legal advisor to President Joseph Boakai to institute said action as provided by Chapter 18, Section 18.1 of the Criminal Procedure Law of Liberia. Interestingly, prosecuting lawyers took the decision without informing Madam Julie Endy, who rejected defendant Prophet Key's request to settle the matter out of court after she dragged him to court for accusing her of sleeping with government officials to retain the cultural ambassador position. Our judicial correspondent further said, despite government lawyers' decision, Madam Endy has also instituted a 5 million US dollar civil action against Prophet Key at the Civil Law Court. Meanwhile, Cultural Ambassador Judy Endy has led a protest at the Executive Mansion in Monrovia demanding justice in the case involving her and Justin Yezian, alias Prophet Key. On Tuesday, the government, which is responsible for prosecuting criminal cases, dropped charges against Prophet Key on grounds that the evidence produced by Madam Endy was not sufficient to prosecute the defendant. But speaking to the media on Tuesday before her protest on Wednesday, Ambassador Judy Endy, a champion for the advocacy of peace and justice in Liberia, expressed dismay in the decision by the government. She claimed that the government took the decision without consulting her and her team of lawyers. The cultural ambassador accused the legal advisor to the president, Councillor Bujuman Keita, of instructing the court to drop her case. The acting executive director of the Environmental Protection Agency is proposing the construction of a new headquarters for the EPA that will be environmentally friendly. Dr. Emmanuel Yapaulu lamented that the current home of the agency does not represent the institution. As such, his administration has begun making proposals to build a safe and green headquarters for the EPA. The newly appointed EPA boss noted that the current facility that is hosting the EPA is an expensive private property that is rented by the government of Liberia. He disclosed that the money being used to rent the building currently occupied by the EPA could be used to build a decent headquarters. Speaking Wednesday at the end of a two-day stakeholders dialogue with the Global Environment Facility, Dr. Yakpawulu, in a frustrating tone, described the current home of the EPA as dilapidated and does not represent the institution. He said he has followed all of the concerns raised by participants of the conference, ranging from protecting international waters, creating protected areas using regulations, among others. But one major thing the entity needs not to forget about is to have a new headquarters for the Environmental Protection Agency of the country. The dialogue brought together participants from over 38 institutions, from government-line ministries, agencies and commissions, non-governmental organizations, civil society groups, community members, academic and research institutions, the private sector, as well as donor partners. The Grand Bassa County Detachment of the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency has arrested 29-year-old Philemon Reeves with huge quantity of heroin valued about 160,000 Liberian dollars. RCR Grand Bassa County correspondent quoted the arresting officer, Daniel Joe, as saying the suspect was arrested in a equatorial palm oil concession area along with 4 accomplices, including his pregnant girlfriend. Daniel Joe disclosed that he got a tip-off from an informer, which eventually led him to effectuate the arrest. For his part, suspect Philemon Reeves narrated that he has been trading in illicit substances for survival over the years. He further explained to reporters that these substances are normally purchased from Monrovia and transported to Bassa for business purposes. It can be recalled President Joseph Boakai, during his State of the Nation address, declared drugs as a public health emergency. In another news, citizens in Grand Bassa County are expressing mixed views over the appointment of former Senator Jonathan Kaipe as Buchanan Port Manager. Our correspondent quoted some of the citizens as saying the job is a demotion for the former senator, while others are calling on former Senator Kaipe to accept the position as a means of serving his country and not necessarily for the job title or the salary. The Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia has expressed serious concern over the recent appointments made by President Joseph Boakai affecting tenured positions at public entities. It can be recalled that on Tuesday, February 20, President Boakai nominated several individuals to the Liberia Telecommunication Authority, Governance Commission, National Lottery Authority, Environmental Protection Agency, and the National Identification Registry. Speaking Wednesday at a press conference in Monrovia, Central Program Manager Attorney Jero Yakula lamented that tenure security is a settled matter and that interferences with it in the form of appointments to positions of active tenures are unlawful. Attorney Yakula made specific reference to the case involving Martin Saleh Colley versus the executive branch of government, in which the Supreme Court upheld the sanctity of tenure against an illegitimate exercise of presidential appointment by then President George Weah. Meanwhile, Senta has made several recommendations to the Unity Party led government, which include that President Boakai immediately recalls appointments to positions occupied by persons with active tenures. Attorney General Yakula wants President Boakai to also institute the membership of the National Environmental Policy Council of Liberia to allow for a recruitment process for the position of Executive Director of the EPA, consistent with Section 16 of the EPA Act. He said by appointing an acting Executive Director, Center believes the trend of interim appointments continues without any deliberate action to comply with the EPA Act. This, he said, will be business as usual and not a deviation from the ugly past, which the president has severally promised. The Association of Professional Foresters of Liberia has described the appointment of Rudolph Marab as managing director of the FDA as illegal and contrary to President Joseph Boakai's promise to uphold the rule of law. A press release issued by the association alleged that Mirab holds a degree in physics and not forestry as it may have been displayed in the public. The release quotes the group of foresters as saying the act that established the FDA mandates that the institution's managing director must hold a degree in forestry and not any discipline. The release added that the president's decision to appoint Marab is the repeat of some of the decisions of former President George Weah, which speaks volume that Liberia is far from experiencing change. The Chancellor of the Harvest Intercontinental American University, Bishop Dr. Darlington Johnson, said the university was established in Liberia to provide quality education. Dr. Johnson continued that their goal is for Harvest University to become a powerful resource partner for businesses in Liberia, asserting that HRAU will comprise of 5 colleges offering degrees in business and entrepreneurship, education, science, technology, labor arts, and humanity and theology. He revealed that the institution, which is expected to commence academic activities in October of this year, is committed to making sure students develop an entrepreneurial mindset to be suited for creating jobs irrespective of their fields. And out of Liberia, nuclear power is key to Ghana's transition to greener energy, but the switch is facing delays, a top official has told the BBC's Climate Question podcast. The West African nation wants 1 or 2 nuclear power plants to be up and running by 2030. But Stephen Yamora, executive director of state-run nuclear power Ghana, says the country is behind schedule. We should probably have been starting construction now, but we are still engaging in or to identify the right vendor, the nuclear power chief said. The delays were caused by financial rather than technical issues. He added the Ghanaian government had been in talks with China, France, Russia, South Korea, and the US about building the nuclear plant, he told the BBC. Well, that's the news bulletin.
The news bulletin on News Desk, it is a regular feature of our news program. In one of our top stories we are following tonight, government of Liberia drops criminal charges against Prefect Key as Quadra Ambassador Judy Andy leads group of women in a mass protest at the executive mansion in demand of justice. Let's now bring you the voices of those behind the news. 5 persons are confirmed dead and several others made homeless in a major fire disaster in Dupodro, Painesville City. A chain of apartments in Cowfield community got on fire early Wednesday morning, leaving the entire building burned. An eyewitness further narrated that after breaking down the house, everyone went by their number of businesses without establishing whether the occupants were safe. And I was just there narrating how the fire incident took place on the depot road. Mines and Energy Minister Designate Wemont Pay has outlined plans to tackle what he calls man-made poverty in Liberia, despite the presence of abundant mineral resources. Facing the Senate Committee on Land, Mines, and Energy for his public confirmation hearing on today. Pay said he signed for the country to pools billions of dollars worth of natural resources while the citizens still suffered.
The poverty in Liberia is man-made. If God wanted Liberians to be poor and live in misery, he could never have endowed this country with abundant natural resources such as gold, diamond, iron ore, and traces of oil, heavy mineral, pitch sand deposit, bauxite, phosphate, uranium, manganese, etc. If confirmed, our policy priorities will therefore be to finalize the draft amendment to the Minerals and Mining Law of 2000, review or update the mineral policy of Liberia 2010, review, update the National Energy Policy of 2009, review Class B and C licenses to identify legal and illegal license holders, restructure the inspectorate and monitoring divisions of the ministry, begin compliance review with improving with the goal of improving production, export data mining contracts and NDAs capacity needs assessment of regulatory bodies, etc. And this is where the issues are when it comes to the concession operators.
Meanwhile, the Mines and Energy Minister designate recounted that over the last 20 years, the country's annual budget has hovered between 800 million and less than 700 million, while operators in the mineral sector have reaped billions of dollars from diamond and gold exports.
The minister having the first thing is that is even wrong. That is even wrong. You can't be a referee and a player at the same time. So that one is not something that you can allow us to do because the law does not provide for that. And that is not something we, if concurrent, will even tolerate. Not just by one means, if that comes to our attention. Plus, the participants can get involved. So a percentage, but there has to be a Liberian enforcement as well, 13%. Thank you, Honorable Senator, already. We have tested that at the lower level and it is working. The LEC, the Liberian Electricity Corporation, to be preoccupied, concerned is with generating the power and transmitting it, while private distributors, as we have seen the case of Jungle Energy, we have seen the case of other, and it's proven to be effective, the best way. So distribution to be something that we can assign, we can give to private operators. The other thing with electricity also that we need to understand and is important is that we are, as a country and as a government, we are making sure that citizens, ordinary citizens, are able to pay, to prepay before they use it. If confirmed, we have back that government ministries and agencies also pay. And I think we should graduate from the post-pay to prepay.
Is Liberia's Mines and Energy Minister designate Wilmot Pay. Government lawyers have dropped criminal charges against Justin Obayinzie, alias Prophet Key, at Memorial City Court. But speaking to the media on Tuesday before her protest on Wednesday morning, Julian D., a champion for the advocacy of peace and justice in Liberia, expressed dismay in the decision by the government. She claimed that the government took the decision without consulting her and her team of lawyers.
Look into this because I believe in justice. I believe in democracy and I believe in the rule of law. And if the rule of law must prevail, then we as citizens must abide by the rule of law of the country. This is a country of law, not a country of men. No man is above the law, including me. So I subject myself to the court, which I have done. So I'm asking the international community, as I wrote you and told you, that I am under tremendous stress and that I have been abused verbally. And so I'm asking the international community, I'm calling on all friendly government that I'm a law-abiding citizen, justice must prevail. Let's go to the court, and if the justice passed by the judge, I will accept the outcome. I am willing to take the stand. I have all evidence in criminal cohesion, medicine, disorderly conduct, abuse. I have all the evidence, and I submitted it to court. I give it to my lawyer, and I have them. I'll give them to you. The whole world have this. Number two, the whole world have this evidence in court. I have, this is it. I made 25 of this, 25, so that everybody that wanted it can get. So you say you then, I'm supposed to appear in court and take a witness stand. I told them I have 25 witnesses. They asked me to bring only 5. Unknowing to me, because we asked the judge gave a rate of near ex-Republican. Why did the judge give a near ex-Republican when we didn't have a case? Then you come and you put no process on the case without my knowledge. Without even saying you brought a case, but you lack evidence or whatever, go to say you didn't say anything. You just instructed. Use your power in your office. I'm just a legal advisor to the president. You are not the legal advisor to Liberia. The Attorney General, the Minister of Justice. That's why it is different. So you instructed for them to do this. I'm asking the government of Liberia. I'm asking the judiciary. The Chief Justice is a woman, and she understands. As a judge, I am a woman. I've been abused. I've been had mental torture. I have not been able to work in my office. I have not been able to write any proposal. I'm the proposal writer for Crusaders for Peace. I have not been able to write any proposal. And I'm going through this mental torture. I'm going through all of this. I have done nothing. I've worked in Liberia. I've worked 30 years of my life. I dedicated in this army, soldiers, this army, children, this army working for the women of Liberia. And you come and denigrate me, my integrity, and then you are supported by the advisor to the president of the Republic of Liberia. I need justice. I need justice. I need justice today. I need justice. And I know that on the Supreme Court bench, they have women. Today it's me.
Liberia's cultural ambassador Judy and the registering of disappointment in government lawyers that persecuted, that dropped criminal charges against Prophet Key. The acting executive director of the Environmental Protection Agency is proposing the construction of a new headquarters for the EPA that will be environmentally free. That's friendly. Dr. Emmanuel Yapawulu lamented that the current home of the agency does not represent the institution. I thought his administration has begun making proposals to build a safe and green headquarters for the EPA. He spoke Wednesday.
That's a terrible, that's a really good deterrent. Yes, you have so that's what we need because we really need a place to sit. I think for the building, the building our house is doing now. Not a place a function in terms of what's needed. I mean, if you're supposed to be an example of environmental situation from the structure of the building to where we get our energy for using diesel and all that, running diesel and all day, right? So, yeah, so this is something that I mean this year we're better going to focus on. You know, I'm told that I can be invited. I'm also a manager at my office this morning. I just have to do some updates, acquire full because of the good thing of the building. All done. We just get a smart building. So when you come to the EPA, you think we are here for the government. The business, you can see how it is. So why is it that in the night, it might be in the night, the year, but you're here. I know you have friends too.
He's the acting executive director of the Environmental Protection Agency speaking there at the end of a two-day stakeholder dialogue with the Global Environment Facility. Well, if you're just joining, you're listening to the Wednesday, February 21, 2024 edition of the Program News Desk, a production of news about Liberia, Africa, and our one word. The top stories we are following tonight: 5 persons are confirmed dead and several others made homeless in a major fire outbreak in Painesville City early Wednesday morning. Mines and Energy Minister Destined Women P promises major reforms in the mining sector, including tackling what he calls man-made poverty in Liberia despite the abundant mineral resources. Government of Liberia drafts criminal charges against Prophet Key as cultural ambassador Judy Andy leads group of women in a mass protest at the executive mansion in demand of justice. And of the home front, Ghana underscores importance of transition to greener energy as construction of nuclear power plant faces delays. The country's nuclear power boss has told the BBC. Today's development, the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia expressed serious concern over the recent appointments made by President Joseph Boakai affecting 10 new positions at public entities. It can be recalled on Tuesday, February 2024, President Boakai nominated several individuals to the Liberia Telecommunications Authority, Governance Commission, National Lottery Authority, Environmental Protection Agency, and National Identification Registry. But speaking Wednesday at a press conference in Monrovia, Center Program Manager Anthony Jero Yakula highlighted that genuine security is a settled matter and that interferences with aid in the form of appointments to positions of active tenures are unlawful.
The Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia is concerned over recent appointments made by President Joseph N. Boakai Sr. affecting tenured positions at public entities. It can be recalled that on Tuesday, February 2024, President Boakai nominated several individuals to the Board of Commissioners of the Liberia Telecommunications Authority, to the Governance Commission, to the National Lottery Authority, the Environmental Protection Agency, to the National Identification Registry. Nonetheless, it has come to our attention that a number of these appointments are being made without regard for tenure security provided in relevant laws. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we wish to highlight that tenure security is a settled matter and that interferences with it in the form of appointments to positions of active tenures are unlawful. In the case Martin Salikoli versus the executive branch of the government of the Republic of Liberia, the Supreme Court of Liberia upheld the sanctity of tenure against an illegitimate exercise of presidential appointment. Then President George M. Weah has nominated a Director General of the National Lottery Authority, when in fact Mr. Colley had been commissioned by former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf prior to the election of President Weah. The court ruled that the appointment was illegitimate since the NLA Director General had a secured tenure of 4 years as prescribed by the legislature. The power of the legislature to insulate public positions against removal by the will and pleasure of the president was further interpreted to include the power to legislate officials out of office through a legislative act. Hence, in re the constitutionality of sections 16.1 and 16.2 of the Act to amend and restate an act to establish the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission and to re-establish the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the Supreme Court held that tenure positions, which are creatures of the legislature, can be divested of tenure by the legislature. Further, it emphasized that positions constitutionally protected by tenure and therefore immune to legislative manipulation are clearly stated in the Constitution.
Meanwhile, Center has made several recommendations to the unity party-led government, which include that President Walker immediately recalls appointments to positions occupied by persons with active tenures. Anthony Jero Yakura wants President Walker constitute the membership of the National Environment Policy Council of Liberia to allow for a recruitment process for the position of Executive Director of the EPA, consistent with Section 16 of the EPA Act.
We cannot continue to repeat the same mistakes of yesterday, which can clearly be avoided. If business must not be as usual, keen attention must be paid to the excesses of yesterday with an eye to averting recurrence. We therefore recommend the following to President Boakai: that President Boakai immediately recalls appointments to positions occupied by persons with active tenures, that President Boakai constitutes the membership of the National Environment Policy Council of Liberia to allow for a recruitment process for the position of Executive Director of the Environmental Protection Agency, consistent with Section 16 of the EPA Act. By appointing an acting executive director, Senate believes the trend of interim appointments continues without any deliberate action to comply with the EPA Act. This will be business as usual, another deviation from the ugly past, which the president has serially promised to depart from.
Is Anthony Jero Yakura of Center. The Chancellor of the Harvard Intercontinental American University, Bishop Dr. Darlington Johnson, says the university was established in Liberia to provide quality education. Dr. Johnson continued that their goal is for Harvard University to become a powerful resource partner for business in Liberia, asserting that the institution will comprise 5 colleges offering degrees in business and entrepreneurship, education, science, theology, among others.
It's a vision of a world where no one lives or dies without access to formal education. Once again, just want to get by. We're not satisfied with mediocrity. So we're challenging ourselves, and with do this, we need to do it exceedingly. As an academic institution by education, we will comprise of HIE comprises 5 colleges at this stage, offering various degrees, business and entrepreneurship, liberal arts and humanities, education, science, technology, and allied health and theology. Our goal is for Harvard Intercontinental American University to become a powerful resource partner of businesses here in Liberia. The university hopes to develop partnerships with these businesses, industry leaders, through entrepreneurs, job placement programs, internships, employment formations, and collaborative teaching. One of the things that we have committed ourselves to is that we want to make sure that our students, regardless of their discipline, regardless of what major they choose, when they go through the process of education at HIE, we want to include what in all phases of their time at our university.
Is Dr. Dalston Johnson also speaking? Ambassador Jutumu Tunkula, who proceeded for the Director General of the National Commission on Higher Education, Dr. Edward Wongoyo, asserted that the Harvard Intercontinental American University has been authorized to operate for the first 4 years.
The NCHU is pleased to announce to the public that the Harvard Intercontinental American University has been licensed to operate for the first 4 years. The approval of the Harvard Intercontinental American University by the Board of Commissioners of the National Commission has authorized the university a licensure status to operate to commence operation of the university in specific disciplines at the primary level for an initial 4 years. During the initial 4 years of operation by the university's management, the NCHC will monitor and evaluate the performances and deliveries of the university through programs. Next, after the 4 years, HIE will reapply for the status of accreditation, and the approved programs and activities will be truly to determine HIE's fitness for full accreditation.
So this development, citizens in Grand Bassa County are expressing mixed views over the appointment of former Senator Jonathan Kapi as Buchanan Port Manager. Our correspondent Alexander Musa quoted some of the citizens are saying the job is a demotion for the former senator, while others are calling on former Senator Kapi to accept the position as a means of serving his country and not necessarily for a job title or the salary.
Others are saying the job is little for the former senator, while others are saying this man has not been serving a appointed position government before, so appointing him as director of Ghana Port is a privilege. If he wants to take it, it's something to police that he did. The job is little for him, while others are comparing him with the current senator. He lost, in 2014, and then in 2020. The job he was given and all like that. So mixed reaction across the county. While others are saying they have to serve the Liberian people. It's not about the position is about service to the common people of the country.
But he has not made any public comment saying his appointment.
Not yet. We placed a call to him and he said he cannot speak to the issue of the appointment now, as we still have some conversation with people higher up.
Is RCR Grand Bassa County correspondent Alexander Musa. Well, on that note, that's how I'd love to leave you on this presentation of the program News Desk. It's been a production of news about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. We'd love to say thanks to you for your listening role. Thanks to all of our reporters, correspondents, and contributors for making this production a success. Thanks as well to our affiliate radio stations, especially Truth FM 96.9 in Saclepi, Nima County, and other frequencies across the country for reading our news. Johnson Batoman, Sala Control, and coordinated the sounds aspect. Maka Davis brought you the news bulletin. We love to apologize that we could not bring you sports tonight on News Desk. The name is Augustine Sai, but just before we leave you, let's bring you the top stories we closely followed tonight. 5 persons are confirmed dead and several others made homeless in a major fire outbreak in Painesville City early Wednesday morning. Mines and Energy Minister Destined Women Pay promises major reforms in the mining sector, including tackling what he calls man-made poverty in Liberia despite the abundant mineral resources. Government of Liberia drops criminal charges against Prophet Key as Quadra Ambassador Julie Andy leads group of women in a mass protest at the executive mansion in demand of justice. And away from home, Ghana underscores importance of transition to greener energy as construction of nuclear power plant faces delays. The country's nuclear power boss has told the BBC. Thanks for your listening role. I'm out.
You are watching To Pay My Taxes and Fees Easily, brought to you by Orange and LRA.
Alfred, I'm traveling soon, so I need to get my birth certificate. I need to go pay my fees, but it will take too much time.
Alfonso, no worries. Thanks to Orange Money and LRA, there is a convenient way to pay for the fees. It is fast and easy. We can now pay the fees for birth certificate, marriage certificate, travel clearance, fire inspection, and business registration renewal from the comfort of our homes and workplaces.
Really? But tell me, Alfred, how does it work?
First, go to any Orange store, POS, or Orange Money agent to open your Orange Money account and put money in your wallet. The service is available in both USD and Liberian dollars. Then to pay your fees, dial *144# to enter your Orange Money wallet. In your Orange Money wallet, select your currency option, for example, USD. Then select Pay Taxes and Fees. Next, you select Non-Tax Payment. Then select the service you want to pay for. In your case, it's birth certificate. After that, you select option 1 to pay for yourself or option 2 to pay for someone else. If you want to pay for someone else, just enter their name or reference number. Next, enter the amount you want to pay, for example, 15 USD for birth certificate. To confirm your payment, enter your 4-digit Orange Money PIN code. You then receive a pop-up message that says your transaction is successful. After that, you receive an SMS from Orange Money confirming transaction, its ID, amount, biller name, date, time, and new balance. Then, LRA also sends you an SMS confirming the transaction and its ID, amount paid, type of non-tax, date, and time.
That's great. It's fast and easy.
I told you so. With Orange Money and LRA, you can pay your government of Liberia fees easily.
To Pay My Taxes and Fees Easily, brought to you by Orange and LRA.
With Orange Money, I can send money to my buying ganta. With Orange Money, I can send money to my mind lofa. Just that *144#. Follow the instruction and do what you want. Just that *144#. Follow the instruction and do what you want. If you want pay for EDC or pay your school fee, brother, you can use Orange Money. If you want buy your credit or pay your taxes, sister, you can use Orange Money. Oh. Just that *144#. Just that *144#. Tell me who I put for. Where my Orange Money, yo. I can pay my LEC bills. You see Orange Money, yo. Tell me who I put for. Where my Orange Money, yo. I can pay my LEC bills.
Orange. Your family members abroad need to send you money? Worry no more. Henceforth, receive your international money transfers from Europe, USA, and South Africa made via Western Union, MoneyGram, and many more directly into your Orange Money account. At Orange Money, we are family.
Orange Money.
I would like to fund my account at any time, even here.
Right here, right now.
Here too!
Without moving an inch.
Here would be just perfect.
Henceforth, send money to your Orange Money account from your bank account and vice versa directly from your mobile phone. A simple and fast solution that is always available to ensure a permanent access to your Orange Money services. Anywhere, anytime, send money to your Orange Money account from your bank account from your mobile phone to cash out, to recharge, to transfer, to pay, to buy. To subscribe to this service, go to your bank branch office partner to the Orange Money service. It's all about what matters to you. Orange.
Introducing the Orange Money Card to Wallet service. How to transfer money from your bank card to an Orange Money wallet with the Card to Wallet service. Go to the Orange Botswana website at www.orange.co.bw and select the drop-down menu and click on Orange Online. This will open a new tab which will ask you to sign in. Click on Sign Up to register for the Card to Wallet service as a new user. Enter your name, surname, the Orange number and email address that will be linked to this service. Proceed to enter your occupation and create and confirm your password, which you will then be required to sign in with every time you make a Card to Wallet transfer. You will then receive an email confirmation. Enter the one-time PIN that you received on your phone. Click on the email confirmation link to finish off the registration. Once the registration is complete, log in, click on Card to Wallet, then enter the Orange Money number you are transferring to and the amount. Continue by entering the source of funds, purpose of funds, and proceed to payment. Click the Visa or MasterCard option and enter your card number, your full names as well as the card expiry date. Proceed to enter the CVV number and click Continue. Enter the one-time PIN that you received on your phone to complete the transaction. Click on Continue to complete the transaction. And just like that, the transaction is complete.